Okay, so today's video's focus is on improving performance and not on relieving pain. It's one of the reasons why I like this therapy so much is it's not just for the person in pain, but it's also for the person looking to improve performance and move better in their body. So we're going to focus on releasing tension in the hamstrings and in the calves. And as a soccer player in the summer, I desperately need this one. Now, for those of you who are getting ready to run and bike in the summer, this one is for you. And for those of you who are thinking, I already stretch, I don't need this, that's fine. But stretching is passive and this therapy is active because we're actively having your brain reconnect to your muscles, which allows them to lengthen, and it's a long-term fix. So just give it a try, there's nothing to lose. Join me for 10 minutes and we'll get your legs ready for the weekend. There's a couple of things you'll need. See if you can find a blanket that can be folded up so it's a couple inches high. It needs to be wide enough to support you along the hips and then also long enough to support your entire lower pelvis up to the chest. So men up here, women with larger busts, maybe underneath here. And if it doesn't bother you, just up here. You just shouldn't feel collapsed here when you're lying on your chest. I also have this strap that I put underneath my feet right here so I have a little bit more room. But before we lay on these, I want to give you a sense of how your legs feel right now when you're lying down on a mat. So just find a comfy spot, lie down for a moment. If it doesn't bother your back or any other areas, let your legs go long. And we're really focusing on how do your legs feel on the ground right now. So do you feel a lot of pressure maybe, or like the weight of your body in your calves? Do you feel a lot of your hamstrings on the ground, maybe in your glutes? You can close your eyes and just kind of sense and feel left to right. How does that feel in the lower body as it's laying on the ground? If you can notice muscles like tense or tight, or maybe a lot of your body's off the ground, that's a thing to notice. And once you think you've got just a snapshot of how it feels, so we can check back in when we're done, I'll have you turn around, get situated. So this blanket, in order to support your entire pelvis, should be lined up so that the edge of it is kind of at the end of your butt. That should be a good indicator that it's still supporting the entirety of your pelvis so that it's stable. Now, I'm going to ask you to lie down, and you can put your head on your hands. If you want to fold up like a towel or something, you can do that and have your arms here or here, whatever is comfortable for you. I'm going to stand this way though most of the time. So the first thing I'd like you to do is to bend at the right knee, about 90 degrees here. And the first thing we're going to do, we're going to release a little bit of the psoas first. But I want you to notice a difference. So first, I'm going to have you try to raise that foot up towards the ceiling. And I notice I really can't go up that high, so that's okay. So I'm going to slowly come down. But now, I know that drag sometimes is the psoas. So that one that connects your back, your trunk to your legs, being a little tight, because I've been sitting most of this week. So I'm going to ground my knee into the ground, which tightens the psoas right under here. If I were to stick my fingers under that crease, I could feel this band tightening. So I'm sort of grabbing the ground with my knee and really slowly releasing it. And I'm really being quiet inside and focusing on that muscle releasing. One more time. Grounding the knee in, which tightens that psoas, and then slowly release it, taking a breath and exhale. All right, now I'm going to try to raise that foot again. It's 90 degrees. And I can already tell that that's allowed me to lift my knee off the ground better without feeling like it was anchored down because of a tight psoas. So that's the first thing. Now, this is contracting and tightening our hamstrings from its points here where it inserts and there where it inserts. So I've tightened it completely, and I'm slowly going to release this section where it tightens into the glutes. Slowly come down. If you have really bumpy movement, that's okay, just go slow. The important thing is once you settle that knee back down, take an exhale so you can release some of that excess tension that you couldn't quite get manually. Foot up towards the ceiling again. And slowly releasing the hamstring by bringing the knee back down. Now for the second part, we're going to release the remaining piece of the hamstring and the calf at the same time by letting the foot slowly come down towards the floor. And I can really feel behind the knee that band of muscle kind of like rubber and eking out. I've always had really tight calves, and this has always been a great exercise for me to make them feel more supple and loose. Making sure to control the release all the way to the end, not letting the foot just jump those last inch or so to the ground, but really controlling the release all the way to the end. Take an exhale. And let's try that again. Bend at the knee. And let's do the full thing. So first lift the foot up towards the ceiling, kind of at a 90 degrees. Releasing the hamstring by setting the knee down towards the ground nice and slow. If you notice a lot of bumps, just come back up for a second over them and then come down. This irons them out. Take a breath before you continue and exhale by letting the foot slowly come back down towards the ground. Now I'm going really slow on purpose because I can tell that from a week of sitting that these guys are pretty tight and they just need a little extra TLC by going nice and slow. Great, taking an exhale. And now I want you to see how that may have shifted. So roll off your blanket. Pushing that away, coming to lie back down. And take a moment to sense and feel how that right leg now feels different than the left as it lies on the mat. For me, it feels a lot lighter and way more in contact with the ground. It doesn't feel like there's as much like hold and tension right here in the psoas. So just that little release on the psoas really makes me feel that the whole leg is touching the ground more. And it just feels more at ease. Like it feels like it's not doing as much work. Like it's more lazy than this one. This one feels like it's still kind of holding on to something. So that's just from a couple minutes of doing this. So flip over, get your blanket back under you, and then try the left side and see how you feel.